It's 8:42 a.m. and I am down here in Lower Manhattan, actually at Bowling Green. There's the park right there. And what I'm going to do today is walk up to the top of Manhattan, this being the bottom. It is a rather balmy 38 degrees. It's supposed to hover somewhere around 40 degrees all day, so I shouldn't get too overheated. I'll try not to. So the tourists have started to come out. As you can see, our famous Broadway Bull. Firm fan favorite. Yeah, so the plan is I'm going to walk from south to north. The length of Manhattan. Should see some, well, at least interesting things along the way. This is Manhattan after all. And, well, there's a tour bus. A bit early in the day. I hope they got a discount. So, yeah, I'm just going to basically, it's an unstructured walk. Probably nothing in the league or approaching the level of my friend Ian over in the UK with his rambles. You can check out his site, see him walking all over the English countryside. There's a link in the description down below this video. Okay, crazies are out already. Okay, yeah. Dueling crazies. All right, so I'm just gonna stop and get a hot chocolate or something to grease my wheels, and I'll meet back up with you in a little while. Okay, I'm suitably recharged now after visiting you know who, and ready to start this walk. So I guess the first thing I should do is actually start the app that I'm going to use to record the walk. Let's see, map my walk. It's a walk. Let's start. Okay, so just to keep me honest, I'm tracking this with the Map My Walk app. And, oh, good morning, by the way, or good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Glad you could stop by. So today's mission is to walk from down here in the Wall Street area, Battery Park, blah, 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 Bowling Green, whatever you want. And I'm gonna walk all the way up to, I think around 225th Street at least. So basically it's from south to north, the length of Manhattan. So we'll see how we do. So I just charged up with some coffee, and a little sandwich and a cookie. Got some water and snacks in my bag. And of course, plenty of batteries. Never forget the spare batteries, kids. Pro tip. And yeah, so that's the trick. Heading up. Right now we're on Broadway, approaching Wall Street. So I'm going to make a little detour to give you some scenery in a few minutes. Not just yet, but for now, we can take a look where we are. So over there is Wall Street. There's the subway station. See, it even helpfully says Wall Street. This here is Trinity Church. Very cool. I believe, although I'm not sure, Alexander Hamilton is buried somewhere in these grounds. Oh, it's chilly. So it's Tuesday, the 4th of February. I don't know what date I'll have this up on YouTube. Either the 5th or the 6th. But right now it's the 4th. It's like 40 degrees, but there's a rather stiff breeze, which is keeping things down, making it feel more like it's in the 30s. I'm guessing that guy's gonna get a ticket.
Like how B2B works better every time.
And he's sitting in the truck too, so another interesting choice. Okay, I'm gonna take a small detour in a minute.
I mean, if you bring me,
But it'll be worth it. So I just want to stop by a little piece of 9/11 history. So when the buildings came down and there were all these ashes and everything covering everything, rescue workers thought this guy was like in shock, and he was covered in ash, so they couldn't tell it wasn't an actual person but a statue, and they wanted to rescue him. And well, as you can see, he survived. When they had the Occupy Wall Street movement, they had like a tent city set up in this part. And I believe they sent the police in eventually and cleared that out. So my plan here is, as long as there's something interesting to show you, that's what I'll do. But otherwise, I have my phone set to alert me every 2 miles to check in with you. And that'll be the plan, unless I see something which requires immediate attention. All right, let's go this way. And
all that stuff.
oh, it is actually quite chilly. It's a great, lovely day. I mean, you can see blue sky and everything. But no, it's definitely chilly. It's definitely February. All right, so, ooh. This is Mercer Labs, the Museum of Art and Technology. And let's go across. Over to the left, you can see a glimpse of the Oculus, which is the structure above Fulton Street train station. Actually, there's a lot of trains meet up under there, up to and including the PATH train to New Jersey. Quite busy, I hope you can hear me, but yeah. That's the Oculus over there. And in just a second, here comes the Freedom Tower. Okay. I'm not going in there today. We're going to pass by a lot of stuff. Which is no less interesting just to be seen. I'll go in them on other days.
Yeah.
Right then. Let's continue onwards. In a minute, I'm going to get back over on Broadway and, well, I'll get back to you then. So luckily I brought an extra layer, which I just froze my patooties a little bit putting on. And a real quick, one of those little public pots. Rude. And so now at least my ears are better protected. Because that was already starting to get to me. It's chilly. So, yes. So now we're going to go to not Central Park, City Hall. And right in front of me is a building designed by Frank Gehry, I believe. So a lot of businesses did not survive COVID. This is directly across from City Hall, so it gives you an idea of just how bad things got. So, right, on we go. I think I mentioned it before, the plan is to walk from south to north the length of Manhattan, and it is currently 9:30 a.m. and I haven't really gotten very far, so it should be interesting. But yeah, I figured it was probably as good a day as any to do it. I got 6 hours sleep. Temperature's not too bad. So, taking a shot at it. If the wind wasn't blowing, it would probably be a lot better. But, you know, it is what it is. So, anyway. I'll get back to you shortly. Okay, I'm taking what's probably going to be one of many quick detours today to just show you the African Burial Ground Memorial. And basically, when they were digging out the foundations for this building, they came across hundreds of bodies down below, and they made this memorial over here, which you can go down and walk through. And it's quite nice, but they still built the building. Not sure where they put the bodies. Anyway, so much for it being sacred ground. So you can't tell me that that should not be called the Jenga building. That one right there. I mean, look at that. The Jenga building. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So we're passing through, well, by Tribeca, the neighborhood in which Robert De Niro resides. Couldn't tell you where. So this is, we're just below Canal Street right now. And Canal Street is synonymous with Chinatown. across the street to the right is, in the Old Tosh building, is the Banksy Museum in New York. So completely authentic, obviously. Yeah, if you want your knockoff handbags, wallets, belts, jewelry, Mount Street. So apparently this is the largest Banksy museum in the world. It's just in the wrong country, to my mind. This is all being filmed on my Osmo Action 4. Oh, that's cool. Where was I? Oh yeah, on the Osmo Action 4, 4K, 30 frames a second. As I walk it up the length of Manhattan. So we started back there below Wall Street, and we are going to go on up to at least 225th Street. So, yep. So this now takes us into the lower reaches of Greenwich Village, really Soho, as the sign up there is reminding me, which just means south of Houston Street, which we definitely are. Where are we at? Grand Street and Broadway. And we're at the 1.64 mile distance. So, not even 2 miles yet. And what time did we start? Started at 9:30 and it's now 9:57, so it's not bad. Quick look around. It's Grand Street and Broadway. A lot of wasted space behind this glass. Okay. One thing I know is pretty much everywhere you look in New York, you'll find something interesting. So this piece of, I don't know what you'd call it. Sculpting done into the sidewalk. It says Ken, but it wasn't me. Yeah, the light's better on this side. So we're at Houston Street, and this is the 2-mile mark, or so my app just told me. So I'm using Map My Walk to track this. At the end it'll give me a cute little map. I can attach photos to it and notes, and then save it for posterity. Actually, I'm going across the street soon. Yes, because I see the block I'm looking for coming up. I mean, in the meantime, we can look at the pretty buildings, the nice sky. This is what my wife calls an upshot. It's her favorite kind of shot. Duh. What other word could I have used there? Okay, so we're gonna cross over quickly here. Bond Street and Broadway. I've never really noticed this building directly ahead of us before, but it's kind of cool looking. Some nice touches. Flourishes, whatever, architectural flourishes. This is what, 670 Broadway. I should look that up and see if there's anything of note to relay about that. So we are now going to dip off track a tiny bit onto Great Jones Street right here, and there are two places of interest that I want us to just be aware of, and it goes back to the fact that New York City is basically the center of the universe. Let's be real. So much goes on here, it has gone on here historically, even contemporary. Okay, so this building right here, this green fronted building, this is where jazz great Charles Mingus, to his friends. He lived here in 1966 at number 5, Great Jones Street. But he's not the only one. So let's just go over another block before we continue our northbound trek. Give this guy room to get through. Okay, so continuing on over Lafayette Street. Still on Great Jones Street. I'm going to get to the home of another luminary, creative genius from New York. In this building right here behind me on Great Jones Street, this is where Jean-Michel Basquiat, famous young artist, lived and worked between, I believe, 1983 to 1988. Upstairs was his studio, and yeah, this is where he lived and worked. People come and, I guess, in a form of homage, put their little street art efforts here. Bob Marley golfing. More likely he would have been playing soccer, but artistic license, yeah? So yes, this was the home and studio of Jean-Michel Basquiat. So directly across the street is this firehouse, which dates back to 1898. And apparently it's an example of the French Beaux-Arts style of architecture. Pretty cool. Continuing on up Broadway. We're at 8th Street now. It's only about 17, 18 blocks to go. One of the many cannabis shops that's opened up in the city. So right now, as you can see, got the Osmo Action 4 clipped to my backpack strap. DJI wireless mic 2 on the other side. And obviously this bit I'm filming with my phone. iPhone 14 Pro Max. That's cool. Get a picture. It's okay, we're almost to 14th Street, Union Square. So this is 14th Street, crossing now. And this is Union Square. Two statues of note, at least to me anyway, here are this one of Mr. George Washington, the first president of these United States. Let's see what we can do there. Okay. Homeless, crazy, but got a Tory Burch bag. New York. So like I said, there were two statues that I find noteworthy here. George Washington was one. And for some reason, I don't know why they put it over here, but there's a statue of Mr. Gandhi. Okay, but yeah, so there's a huge farmers market, very famous farmers market, takes place all along here and up around the northern section of the park. Onwards. So I'm not particularly sold on the value of these pedestrian malls that they've created. You used to be able to drive all the way from Battery Park up Broadway, well, all the way up Broadway actually, but now several sections are closed off and given over to seating, art displays, what have you. But it just makes it very hard to get around in the city sometimes. When you're driving, anyway. Okay, so we're approaching, this is 18th Street we just crossed, so we're approaching 19th Street. Not much here to speak of until we get up to 23rd Street, so I'll probably see you then. This is a great place to get your random housewares, plates, cups, cutlery, glasses. Fischetti. We've been shopping there since the early 90s, back when we used to live in Brooklyn. And in fact, until the present day, still go there sometimes. Okay, this is funny, so you have to see it. Okay, so as we cross the street over here, this building covered in scaffolding is actually that famous triangular building, the Flatiron Building. And this is the Flatiron District. Right now, a view of the Empire State Building is blocked by that new skyscraper there that's going up. So, 23rd Street, apparently where New York meets New York, which makes no sense to me. And I don't know what these things are, some kind of vortex flux machines, perhaps. Probably just light displays which look better at night. So that's Madison Square Park over here. And across the street is Italy, which is where you go if you want the finest in Italian cuisine and ingredients. Which I don't right now, so we're just going to go by. But they do have some really rather delicious stuff. Okay. Not everyone's ready for the Tour de France. Hear the train down below me. Couldn't tell you which one it is. I would imagine it's the 203 train, but I'd be guessing. Okay, so this is Broadway and West 29th Street, and this is the 4-mile mark. And it is 10:58. That's an hour and a half so far. And still nothing really of much interest. Just passing by the Virgin Hotel at West 30th and Broadway. I like like the planes. I like the boats. I'm not sure about their rockets, and I haven't been on their train. So, well, nor have I stayed in the hotel yet. Do a slight detour. Just to show the front. Of the building. Let's see. Okay, onwards. Let's cross. Yeah. So now we are going over to 6th Avenue for a minute. So the next opportunity that I get to take my backpack off, I'm gonna have some water and a quick snack. I think I know where that will be, but it definitely is not yet. So let's keep on keeping on. Up and across to the left.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like a block and a half over. Just a block and a half that way. And the lady asked, where's Penn Station? It's right there. Coming into view in just 1 second. Well, I say 1 second and then I've lied. Coming into view around the corner will be Macy's, who call themselves the world's largest store. And they do take up an entire city block, so they might be onto something. Macy's. Definitely worth a visit if you want to do some shopping, upscale, high-end, mostly. And they do keep fairly clean bathrooms. Yep, that's the sound of the city. Car horns and sirens and, well, there are a few other sounds, but those are the predominant ones. We don't have any reason to go in, but Macy's.
Oh, but you know.
If you're in the mood for a little taste of seafood, this place coming up on the left. Oh, this is a fairly good barbecue joint. Mighty Quinn's. That's not the one I was about to give a shout out to. Luke's Lobster. They got multiple locations around the city. They do lobster rolls, crab rolls, and shrimp rolls. And they're very good. Ever since this thing went up, I've had issues with it. Now, I'm as much for art installations as much as anybody is, but this is not art. It's called Shaved Portions, and it's made of rubber tires and stainless steel. And it's yuck. I mean, what is it? It's nothing. I think it's a waste of space. And I don't think it's art. Here, have another quick look at it. Where's the art? Any child could put that together. I came this way deliberately because, let's face it, all the things that most people know about New York City who've never been here before are what? The World Trade Center, Brooklyn Bridge, Times Square, Empire State Building. But we are approaching Times Square, so I didn't want to disappoint anybody. So we'll pass through it quickly and then keep heading north. Yeah, Times Square it's kind of fun to go there and people watch, I guess. I can't recommend any of the food places there at all. And none of the shops will be cheap. Because you got to imagine they're paying a hefty rent. This is 42nd Street. Theater district here. We came down here to watch Sunset Boulevard, which was actually pretty good. So good, in fact, that I went and purchased the actual movie version, and that was even better. But that Pussycat Dolls girl was at least starring in it when we saw it, and she was very good. Girl could sing. If I can remember her name, I'd tell you, but it escapes me at the moment, so I'll just put it in the caption below. Nicole Scherzinger. Yes, that sounds about right. Well, for visitors again, little tidbit of information. Tidbit, whatever it is. If you should encounter Mickey Mouse, Spider-Man, Iron Man, King Kong, Transformers, what apparently is supposed to be a Statue of Liberty on stilts in front of me. Any of these costumed characters, they'll be more than happy to take a picture with you and then extort you for $20 or more. So just be aware of that. It's something you do if it's something you want to do. Just be aware it's going to cost you. We're going to cross over here. And yep, so this is it. This is Times Square. This is somewhere I really only come, like I said, if we're going to the theater or to make videos for you guys. I see a Minnie Mouse and a Cookie Monster, I guess. And then magically Minnie Mouse transports herself and changes her outfit over here. So people like to sit up on these red steps here. It's probably more fun in the summertime.
And then things that we receive in our heart, it came from God. That means
Preaching.
that do things like it's righteous.
Okay, so that was Times Square. Now we're at 47th Street. Now we're going to continue north, heading up to 225th. And we're at 48th. So there's a little way to go. Okay, see you shortly.